Hi everyone, thanks for watching me this afternoon. What I'm making today is a butternut squash tomato soup. So what I've started out having in my pot here is 1 onion sauteing into 2 tablespoons of olive oil with a ½ teaspoon of salt. Now that these onions are translucent, I'm going to add 4 sprigs of thyme leaves along with 4 cloves of garlic. And I'm going to let this get nice and translucent with the onions. Just take about a minute. And what I've done while this was cooking earlier was I took a butternut squash, I halved it, took out the seeds, left it face up, and I brushed a ½ tablespoon of olive oil on both halves. I used a ¼ teaspoon of paprika, a ¼ teaspoon of cayenne pepper, a ¼ teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and an ⅛ teaspoon of ground clove. Sprinkled that on both halves of the butternut squash, and I baked it in the oven until it was fork tender at 375. And these are quite large. They're probably about a 5-pound butternut squash, so it took about an hour and a half at 375 to be fork tender. So I'm letting this cool because I'm going to be scooping it out of the shell and pulverizing it. So now that my onions and garlic and fresh thyme have gotten to their desired consistency, I'm going to take 4 cans of diced tomatoes, and they're fire roasted. So you want a total of 2 28-ounce cans of tomatoes. So we'll put those into the pot. Once we have that in the pot, then you're going to take either a pulverizer, or you can pour all of the tomatoes along with the garlic, onion, and thyme into a blender and go ahead and smooth all of this out. I like the pulverizer because it's less things that I have to clean when I'm finished. And it works just as good as a blender, and you'll see. And I am a texture girl. I don't like chunks of anything in my food, so I make sure to go ahead and get this nice and smooth. So I will go ahead and finish this up after I add my squash. So for the most part, I have this pretty smooth now. So now I will go ahead and take my butternut squash and scoop it into the soup. It's nice and tender, so it comes right out of the shell. And the butternut squash, what I like about doing this into the tomato soup is that this is what will give the tomato soup its creamy taste. And with all that seasoning that I had put in here, it's going to be extremely tasteful. this just about added in here. Plus, I'm not one just for plain tomato soup. So this definitely adds a nice twist to it, and it's something different. Okay, so now, once you have your squash scooped out of the shell, you're going to add to your pot 32 ounces of vegetable broth. And now again, you'll take your pulverizer and you're gonna get all of this nice and smooth. So this just takes a couple minutes to do. And again, I like to do this until it's completely smooth. So I'm going to continue working on my soup, pulverizing it to the consistency that I like. And then I'm going to be coming back with another video on what this looks like finished, as well as I'm going to incorporate a delicious grilled cheese to go with it. And you don't want to miss this because this grilled cheese is not your typical grilled cheese. It's got several different gourmet cheeses that go along with it, and you will not want to miss this recipe. See you soon.